Let's find some day trades, swing trades, and option trades. Hello, traders. It is Wednesday, August 12th. We're about 3.5 hours into trading. Let's see what the market's doing. You can see how the market is starting to roll over after making a new high of the day. You had this breakout above yesterday's high. That attracts bullish speculators. They get in, boom, instantly start to see some selling. And now we're getting follow through. That means that they're getting flushed out of their positions. Let's see if we get some more selling on the backside. We've got a negative cross here on the 1OP indicator. Let's take a look at what the indicator's been telling us. Let's go back to yesterday, do a very quick technical review. You can see how the market gapped higher, came back, tested that gap, filled it to the penny, and then tried to grind higher. We had a breakout. This long green candle right here was a buying climax, and I had mentioned this to members in the chat room. This looked like a great buying opportunity. Here we go. We're at a new high. We're within striking distance of the all-time high. The S&P 500 is only 15 points away from the all-time high, so you would imagine that, yes, we're going to get there. So everybody rushes in. They buy on this breakout. And I said, we have to see what happens after this breakout. If we give up this long green candle right here, the open of it, then I know that this is a buying climax. So market pulls back, get a little bit of a rally. Now we have a lower high double top, and we have a bearish cross in the 1OP indicator. Plus, we have this upward sloping trend line right here that's violated off of that lower high double top. This is an excellent entry point for a short position. We come down, we test the low of the day, and as soon as we couldn't lift off from that low of the day, I knew that we were at very least going to trigger buyers right there because this was a natural support level. This would attract buyers on the gap being filled. So anybody that bought here would have had their stops right there. They would have gotten flushed out, and then the selling pressure really took hold. This is a bearish engulfing pattern on a daily chart, and it looked like we might be in trouble. I realize that we're right on that all-time high, 15 points away as far as the S&P. Market is floating higher on very light volume, so know that these gains can be stripped away instantly, and that's typical of a light news cycle. We're through earnings season. We're through the major economic releases. Congress is going into recess, so the news is really going to dry up. It's typical in August that the volume really dries up. So that favors the upward momentum. However, you should know that these light volume rallies, especially with these tiny little bodied candles, they are a sign that there is low conviction level. So we can get these nasty gap reversals like we did yesterday. And right now I am short the S&P 500. So let me put up my chat room. I started getting short just before I came into the recording session here. You can see SPY short at 337.25. Oh, excuse me, that's 237.25, and that's symbol ZM. That was a typo. There's short SPY 337.55. Check the timestamps. That's at 11:47. That is 3 hours and 27 minutes after the open. And here we go. We're getting that market drop. We had a nice bearish cross right here on the 1OP indicator that told us that there's trouble ahead. Now, this is something that I pointed out to my members, and I gave a play-by-play analysis when we were in here, trapped in this range right now. I said, here's what I'd like to see happen. I'd like to see the 1OP indicator rally. I'd like to see the market either get to the high or make a new high, and then I'd like to see selling, red candles after that new high, after the 1OP bearish cross. That is exactly what's happened. And until then, I really didn't do a lot of trading. I was waiting and waiting patiently for this breakdown. And you can also see visually this upward sloping trend line right here that's been breached. So I'm expecting to see follow through selling. You can see how that happened yesterday as well. As soon as the resistance shows itself, the market bid dries up, and then the sellers take a whack at it and see if they can get something going. Without the $1.5 trillion stimulus plan that was baked into the market, I think the market's going to have a pretty hard time testing the all-time high, challenging it. That was something that everyone was expecting, and I think that small businesses are going to suffer as a result if they don't get a deal done because their PPP is going to be running out. That means they're going to have to lay off employees. That means that the initial jobless claims week after week are going to continue to rise. That's a key number that we want to be watching every Thursday morning. So yes, I am bearish right now. I'm going to keep my fundamental analysis in these videos very short. If you want a more in-depth perspective of what's going on a fundamental basis, you can follow me on Twitter, and I post those comments before the market open each day. So now that we've got a little bit of a crack in the dam, let's also take a look at ZM. You can see how it's pulling back. This stock looks very weak on a daily basis. I'd mentioned that to you. You can see how we had horizontal support right here that was violated. Now we have 4 long red candles closing on their low, closing below that horizontal support. The stock is trying to bounce a little bit today, but I think ultimately in the course of the next week or two, it tests that 204 breakout right there in the 100-day moving average. So let's see. I think that's a decent looking short. We're also going to be taking a look at a few longs and a few shorts. Let's review what we were in yesterday. The stocks that I liked, Qualcomm was one of them. And I still like it today. You can see how we had this bullish engulfing pattern yesterday. Got my upward sloping trend line drawn. Today, off to the races. I like Qualcomm. During the presentation yesterday, we had this huge volume spike right in here that I brought to your attention. That tells me that bullish speculators are in there, buyers are in there heavy. The stock pulled back with the market, but it held really, really strong. Let's put up that the SPY overlay. So here's the market, down, 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 down. Look at this stock, hold the bid. This is relative strength. This is exactly what we look for. And here's the tell. If this bounce here were just a fake, that would mean that anybody who's been looking to sell the stock would do so, especially on a market decline. So they start pounding the bid. Pound, 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 pound. Buyers are aggressive. They see the market falling. They don't care. They want to own some shares. Finally, the buyers give up in the last half hour of trading. The stock comes in a little bit. But as soon as the market gapped higher today, whoosh, it's off to the races. That's the edge that we have trading relative strength. So that's what we're always looking for. Qualcomm looked really good yesterday. It looks good today. If you're in here, you're making money today. So that was a really decent play. PLNT was another stock that was super strong yesterday. By the way, we're able to watch the S&P through the right side of the screen here. As a short right now, as a bear, I don't want to see more than half of that red candle recovered. And I want to see continual selling pressure with a continual drift lower. It can get to the halfway point, or I have a problem with that. Ideally, I would see a doji here at the low end of this candle. That tells me that the sellers are still in force. So doji here, and then the next candle red. That's what I'd be looking for to stay in that position. But because I'm recording, I'm not going to be trading. I'll just stay in the position through the course of the presentation. PLNT, this is about where the video came out yesterday. You can see we're slightly higher than that right now. And keep in mind that we had that really big market decline yesterday. So this stock has been able to weather that storm. If you bought it yesterday, you're doing fine on it. You had some really nice profits that you could have taken in here. Now, if you've ever got a situation like this where market down, 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 stock going up, and you can see that the market is truly under some heavy pressure, anywhere in here, get out. Take your profits. My gosh, you don't want to be trading against the market very long. The fact that you were in the right stock allowed you to make money even though you were on the wrong side of the market, but get out and look for a better entry point. So you can see now we got this doji forming that tells me that this move lower is going to be intact. Look at that 10p indicator fall. That tells me we're on the right side of this trade. So PLNT was another stock that I liked. SBUX was the third stock that I highlighted on the long side yesterday. Probably would have been right around here. and the stock is pretty much level with where it was yesterday. But it also ran higher after the video, and it succumbed to the heavy selling in the market, but it has not been able to bounce today. I think that restaurant stocks, travel stocks, hotel stocks, all of those have bounced. Energy stocks, all the laggard sectors have bounced. But I feel that you should not be swing trading those overnight because they are vulnerable. There's a reason that they've lagged the market. And in fact, typically in the final stages of a market rally, you're going to see a rotation out of the high flyers and into the laggards. That's another reason that I believe the market is in the last leg of this rally. So let's see what else we've got that I like on the long side. I'm going to go through the list here. Tesla announced a 5-for-1 stock split. That's been super hot all day. I think that on a daily chart yesterday, this actually was looking pretty bearish to me. I was watching that horizontal support level right there. This news came at exactly the right time. Nvidia's been strong today. You can see that rally. Home Depot continuing to push higher. This is a nice breakout. It looks pretty good. I'm not wanting to chase stocks that are at an all-time high right now. I want to find something that is actually bouncing, and that's why my pick today is ABBV. I like the fact that it was able to find support above the 100-day moving average. You can see how it compressed right here. Now it's up. It has broken this downward sloping trend line. I think it's still got a couple of decent days on the upside left in it. So ABBV, and that stock came off of our heavy buying list. This is my favorite list early in the day. APPS, very, very strong price movement. This is a good stock to day trade, but when you go parabolic like that, with the market being near an all-time high, with the market hitting resistance, I don't want to chase a stock like this. So I would not recommend holding it overnight for a swing trade. So ABBV, I really like that one. Let's see what else we've got. Relative strength 30 would be a search I'd want to run right now. Market down, down, down for 30 minutes. These stocks are probably going to be showing some strength. By the way, I also have been noticing, you can see how the stock has been running up. It's at its high of the day. Wouldn't trade it here. Might set an alert right here just to see if the stock can get through there. All I did was double click on that bar right there and it set my horizontal alert. Johnson & Johnson. That's not a bad looking move right there. Breaking out to a new high. Still not anything going here on a daily chart. Click GTC. Double click on the open of that bar right there. There's my GTC horizontal line. If it gets through that, I'm interested. I'll get a pop-up alert. MRK. Ooh, I like this one. This stock is actually through the 200-day moving average. It's moved through this tiny little horizontal resistance level. It actually is through. It's not quite through this level right here, but it looks pretty good. I think if you wanted to be long MRK, Merck, I think that could work. And look, down, down, down with the market, stock bouncing through the high of the day. I think Merck could have some legs. These pharmaceutical stocks tend to be very, very choppy, so they're not something that you need to chase. You're going to get a second chance at them. You can see how the market, there's the doji. Now I'm expecting a red candle right here. Let's see if we get that follow through selling. Everything is setting up for me to stay short this position. You can see how the market tried to rally. It got to the halfway point of that red candle, and then it sold off right into the close of that 5-minute bar. And so that closing price on that red bar has been preserved, and now we're getting the next leg lower, which is good. So on this particular trade, I'm going to be bidding to make $1 on the trade, and I'm short at 337.55, so 336.55 would be my target. We're about 40 cents away from it. And let's see if the selling pressure picks up today like it did yesterday. If it does, I think that buyers are going to be back on their heels, probably for the next week even, because they've seen 2 attempts at a breakout, 2 attempts to try and get to that all-time high. Without that stimulus package, it's going to be tough sledding. They see 2 reversals off of the high back to back. They're going to be very passive in terms of buying. So I think we could see some additional profit taking. We won't know till we see the price action, we know that the volume is going to be pretty light. So I've given you something that I like on the long side, and let's see. So I do like J&J. I think that looks pretty good, but given the price action here, you should not be buying anything right now. I'm also going to go into my bearish search, and let's see what we can find there. Heavy selling. These are the stocks that are weak today. NVAX. There you'd want a breakdown below that upward sloping trend line, which we're almost there right now. RCL has been a nice short. You can see how it was not able to bounce with the market. That's all you got out of it. Gap higher, gap reversal, takes out the low from the prior day. These laggards that look great for the last few days all of a sudden are back weak again. And you can see how it had follow through selling here. I think RCL is going to continue to go lower. Click the alert line, click on the bottom of that. Now we'll know if there's a breakdown in it. And we can put up the SPY overlay. And there you can see big market rally. And all you can get out of this is a tiny little bounce, and then the selling resumes. So, yeah, I think RCL looks pretty good on a 5-minute basis. On a daily basis, you'd probably need to get below the halfway point of this this green candle right here. Then I think you've got a shorting opportunity. Kind of tough because it's got big support right here. It's got the 100-day moving average, so I don't know how much traction you're going to get out of an overnight short like this. So I would say it's probably not going to be the candidate that I would want for an overnight short because it's got so much support here. I'd rather find something that's run hard like LRN. I think this has a possibility to be a decent short. You can see this compression right in here. You can see it had earnings after the close yesterday. It's trying to take out this horizontal support level right here. LRN might be one that works on the short side. You can see how the market's continuing to come in here. DE. This is a hangman formation, also an evening star, close to it anyway. And the stock gapped up, closed on its low of the day yesterday, and then we have followed through selling today. And I think that we could see some weakness in DE throughout the course of the day. You can see how it tried to bounce. That upward sloping trend line right there has been broken. That upward sloping trend line right there has been broken. I think DE sets up well for a short right here. CHGG. I'm still not giving you my pick. Haven't decided on it yet. Ooh, that's a pretty good one too right there. Boy, this is nice. This is going to be a good short right here. You've got earnings after the close. Gap higher. Stock trying to hang on to that strength right there. Yesterday, you get this gigantic, 2 days ago, you get this gigantic bearish engulf. Now you have a failed breakout. That was a breakout right there. People bought that right there. Now those people are getting flushed out. That is a failed breakout, and you have an upward sloping trend line that's also been violated. CHGG bearish. Probably going to be my bearish pick for the day. Continue to take a look here. I've also noticed some weakness in financials. XOM, right on the 100-day moving average. Very, very tight price compression. Just not a lot of movement there for you to sink your teeth into. So I'm not as crazy about that one. Yesterday, I did show you another stock that I like on the short side. I think that's going to continue to work. You've got ZM here. A breakdown below that horizontal support level. You have a double top, lower high. I think that this stock is going to be weak. I can't recall if I reviewed this or not, but I think it's got a chance to get to 204. And that's pretty much it for my analysis today. I want to try and keep these videos short. The bottom line is that we're in a low probability trading environment. You can expect a lot of chop and a lot of noise in a very light volume environment as the market continues to try and drift higher and higher in a light news cycle. Know that one news event could spark a 50, 60, 70 point S&P decline, and then everything that you worked so hard for over the course of the last 2 weeks is stripped away in one day. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your swing trades to a minimum right now. I have virtually no overnight risk exposure. I'm in what I consider to be hand-to-hand combat. I'm day trading to try and make money. I'm only trading half my normal size in the morning, a quarter of my normal size in the afternoon. Don't piss your capital away in a low probability trading environment trying to make something happen. You're really going to regret it when the conditions improve because you're going to wish that you had that nice big account and that you're able to fire on all cylinders. But right now, if you keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying, no matter how hard you try, there's no volume behind this market move. So anything can happen. So please keep your trades to a minimum right now. Stay engaged, trim your size, trim your trade count. By staying engaged, you're going to be able to recognize those opportunities when they do show up in a few weeks. But for right now, we are in the dog days of summer. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so that you never miss these videos. I promise you, I'll always have some great trade ideas for you. Every day I try and show you what we were in the day before, how it performed overnight. Then I give you some new picks to take a look at. If you watch a few of these videos, I think you'll get a sense that this research is spot on and the systematic trading approach works. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.